The Last Lesson. It is a story by Alphonse Daudet, a French writer, about the impact of the Franco-Prussian War on the people of Alsace and Lorraine, two districts of France that were annexed by Prussia in 1870. The story focuses on the last day of school for a young boy named Franz, who learns that his French teacher, M. Hamel, has to leave and that French will no longer be taught in the schools. The story depicts the emotions of regret, nostalgia, patriotism, and loss that the teacher and the students experience on this occasion. Here is a brief summary of the chapter. Franz is late for school and fears that M. Hamel will scold him for not learning his lesson on participles. He is tempted to skip school and enjoy the sunny day, but he decides to go anyway. On his way to school, he sees a crowd of people gathered around the bulletin board, where the Prussian authorities usually post their orders. He thinks that it might be some bad news, but he does not stop to read it. He reaches the school and finds it unusually quiet. He enters the classroom and sees M. Hamel sitting on his chair, wearing his formal clothes that he only wears on special occasions. He also sees some old villagers sitting on the back benches, looking sad and solemn. M. Hamel tells Franz to take his seat quickly and does not scold him for being late. He then announces to the class that this is his last lesson, as an order has come from Berlin that only German will be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. He says that this is the last lesson of French, the most beautiful language in the world, and that they should be proud of it. Franz is shocked and ashamed to hear this. He realizes that he has wasted his time and opportunity to learn his mother tongue, and that he does not know how to write or speak it properly. He feels a sudden love and respect for M. Hamel, who has been teaching for 40 years and who is now forced to leave his school and his country. M. Hamel teaches the lesson with great devotion and patience. He explains the grammar rules, writes the alphabets on the board, and makes the students read aloud from their books. He does not blame the students for their ignorance, but he blames himself and the parents for not being more serious and diligent in teaching and learning French. He says that it is a common fault of the people to neglect their language and culture until they lose them. He also praises the French language as the most logical and clear language, and urges the students to guard it and keep it alive in their hearts. He says that it is the key to their freedom and dignity, and that they should never forget it or renounce it. The church clock strikes 12, and the Prussian soldier's bugle call is heard in the street. M. Hamel stands up, overcome with emotion, and writes, "Vive la France" on the board. He then asks the students to rise and says in a choked voice, "School is dismissed. You may go."